Today I want to show a waveform generator. A waveform is something like you see here, but there's no setup. I can manipulate this waveform. You see it has a base waveform. A base waveform is like a sinus wave, but we can modulate it in two ways. One is called frequency modulation and another one is amplitude modulation. You see, this is the timeline. That's like an x axis. And if the frequency is high, you will see waves like that, very close to each other. If the frequency is low, you see a wave like that. And the amplitude, that is like the volume. I will show you. I try to show you what it is, but it's a bit difficult because I'm already modulating this waveform. So the base waveform is like this wave over here. You see that one? That is the base waveform. And I will adjust that. So I can put that smaller and bigger. Then if I change the frequency modulation, so I'm going to change the frequency with that. So the amplitude stays the same. The volume, this waveform stays the same. That doesn't change, but things inside are happening. That's pretty interesting. You can make all kinds of waveforms. So then this is the amplitude. So I think the amplitude is this wave. And you can change that as well. So you can make all kinds of sounds as well with this. We can increase the length like that. And if you need more samples, you can increase the samples. So try to show you the basics. So I get rid of this bass, and I get rid of also the amplitude modulation. I see we got now the basic waveform. So I can stretch this, or I can increase it. So basically, this is a line. So I start with a curve, then I resample the curve so it has 500 vertices. And then I set the position, I do it on offset. You can forget about this is not that important. So I do it on the Y, I displace the vertices on the Y. And how I do that is I take the index. Each vertex has an index. So it starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then plug it into a sine function. And then I multiply the index. So vertex number 2 becomes then, for example, if I multiply by 2, it becomes vertex 2, but yeah, that's how it works here. So, but it looks a bit like we are adjusting the timeline, maybe. I think this is the offset. So you will see this very often. So you have the sine wave. If you multiply, you change the frequency like that. But add, on the other hand, will change the offset. But on the other side of the sine wave, you have also multiply and add, but it will do different things. So again, this is the frequency, but if you do that after the sine wave, you change the amplitude. And add, that is the offset on the y-axis. That's pretty interesting. So now I think I forgot it. So I'm going to modulate the frequency. Let me think. I forgot where it was. I think I have to add it. All right, so I have to add it, and I can change frequency over here. I think the frequency modulation is not that interesting for us. More interesting is the amplitude modulation. There goes my microphone. So I got my microphone back. Amplitude modulation, and I made something nice here. So, oh wait, so I made also an envelope like that. So what I'm doing here, so this after the sign, so this one is the amplitude, and then I take the index, multiply that a few times, I change it with the map range. So that means that, for example, I can say like, oh, the higher the index, the more amplitude, or the more volume or less. So I can change the waveform like that. And this is the end. So that is envelope. You can experiment with that. And this is also nice. So this is the amplifier. Let's say that's the end, the end part. Let me see what it is. Oh yeah. So I plug this into a minimum and a maximum, and then I multiply by -1, so that is a trick to. Yeah, let me show it. So unplug this. So this is the minimum. That's that one, and that is the maximum. But I want to control both at the same time. But if I do this, I plug that in, like so, then I got just one line. So I need a mirror of the other one. So now I can control it like that. And yeah, this is also interesting. You can also add a snap. So I go to utilities, math, snap, where is it? I think that's nice also. So that means it snaps to particular volumes. Let's turn this off. Let's go here, and if I then go to curve to mesh, can I adjust the height? And I want to turn off smooth shading, so go to mesh, set shade smooth. I turn it off. So you can model actually with waves. So I want to decrease the amplitude. Oh, maybe I do that here. Let's see. No, I have to do that here. Ah, here, this one. Let me increase the frequency, so the bass, no, it doesn't help. Anyway, you can make loads of interesting waves with that. So let me try to build this from scratch. I think it won't work, but you get an idea So I start with new one, new, general. Then I go to geometry nodes and start new. I remove this one. So I go to curve primitives and I start a curve line. I'm going to resample the curve, and I want to give it like 500. Put it in here, and I should see something, but I want to go on the x-axis. So on the set, I fill in 0, and then x, 1, or maybe we go to 5. You don't see it well, but if you move around a bit like that, you see here's the line. Now, what I remember, we need the index. So we want to have each point, and we want to give it a sinus function. So utilities, math, sine. No, that's, let me see. I forgot it. Oh, we have to set position. So geometry set position. Then I want to offset it on the y-axis. So I'm going to utilities. What is it? Factor, and then combine. Combine this one, and then it goes on the y. That's good, but now I want to adjust frequency, because yeah, a count of 500 is not much. I think I don't know how many samples you have in 1 second. Usually that's much more than 500. 500 is nothing. So we need to adjust it to our situation a bit. So I go to utilities, math. And if I multiply this number, if I multiply each vertex, the number of the vertex, so where's my mesh? I don't have a mesh. Okay, so maybe I need to realize the instance. Still not. What the heck? Oh, right. I have to go to curve to mesh, and there I have it. You see? Oh yeah, that is no need. Curve to mesh. That's good for now. Yeah, I have 500 vertices. They are all numbered. They have an index. Go to 500. So actually, when I say multiply, I multiply each number with 2, or if I give a lower value here, I divide it actually. But we prefer to use multiply, because if we use divide, I believe there is a chance that we can divide by 0. And doing it this way, it's not possible to get that error. That's what I think. And I got used to it as well. So that's that. So I can adjust the frequency, that's nice. Yeah, if you do, you go to utilities, math, you can add now, you change the offset of the wave. We can use that later to change the, we're going to modulate that with frequency modulation. I'm not sure if that's correct, frequency modulation, because there's a whole formula behind it. So this is more an artistic way, I think. But if you want to take a look, I made this one. This is a handy article. And here you see a formula. I think we need that, and then I think the T stands for time. And that is, yeah, that's the x-axis. And these numbers are related, so the index is related to the time. Because if I change the time, well, it's related. I don't know exactly, but yeah, I was able to make a waveform generator. So that's what I'm going to show here. So that's the offset. And if we multiply and add after the sine function, something else happens. So, we change the frequency. If we do that again, then now we change the amplitude. I think we put it on 1. And if we do add again, what does that do? What's that? Oh, okay, that's the offset in the y-axis. Come on, yeah. I'm not sure if we need that. So we got, so let's group this together. Control J, I press N, and label, I say the base. Pardon, that's the base. That's a bit lower. No, I want to add a new one. Input index, we need a sine, math, sine. I can also just copy and paste. Then math, multiply. Sine. Oh yeah, so I want to put it in offset, and then this happens, and then I do that. Yeah, I need to hold shift because I need very small values over here. So yeah, as I said, this is an artistic way, so that's not scientific. So I'm going to divide by 100, and then I add an input value over here. Value, is it? I plug it in here, plug it in there, and I hide this a little bit. So here I can change. That works much nicer. You see that? So I'm not changing the amplitude, but I'm changing the frequency. That works nice. Yeah. Do I need an offset here? Let's check. Math. Wait, we give it a bit modulation here, like that. I put this a bit higher, so we see maybe a bit more. Oh yeah, no, what's that? Yeah, I'm not sure if we need that, but I keep it here. So then let's check what multiply does in this case. Multiply in this case that this. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's nice for control. So that's more like like a contrast on frequency modulation. So I wish I could have a better visual. We'll check it later maybe. And this is an offset math add. Yeah, great. That's good. This multiply is useful, very useful. To control the waveform. So this is then frequency modulation. So FM. If you know a way how we can convert this waveform into audio, we could make like a synthesizer. That would be cool. We don't have that yet in Blender. Then let's go for amplitude modulation. So input, there's the index, math. Multiply that a few times like that. Multiply, add. We get also a sinus wave. Sinus. Doesn't take it. And this one. So we got here this one basic. We call that AM. And we plug this into this one, a multiply. So we go over here, go over there. Nice, nice. So that's an offset. This is like amplitude. Yeah, you have to check that out a bit. What is what? All right, that's clearly wait, I turn off the frequency modulation for a while. Let me add 0. What the heck? That is weird. Is there a tanga somewhere? No. Wait, multiply with 1 maybe? All right, so this has to be a very small number. So I do the same because we need a very small number for that. So I'm going to go to input value and I'm going to divide. I said we don't do divide. Now I'll do it. Divide by 100. Back to the frequency modulation that's over here. Oh, wait, here, over here. Multiply, yeah, so we see it better now. Cool. And let me think. Yeah, then you need the attack and the amplifier. That's nice. Let's check that. So at the end, you will have an amplifier. You go to utilities, math. You choose the minimum and the maximum. And I plug that somewhere at the end or so. All right, we have to move this away. How do I get this out of the frame? I don't know. So I have to do it this way. Combine. Let's get rid of that. Combine on the X. Minimum, maximum. So we have to adjust it. Mute. Minus 0.16. So I want to adjust both of them. To do that, I get math node. I'm going to divide -1. Then I add the value, input value node. No. Oh yeah. So this one has to be that one. Wait, let's type it in here. 0.16. This one is the positive value, and to mirror it, I go over here. Oh, what says not multiply? I forgot. Maybe it doesn't matter. Oh yeah. Anyway, it works. What happens with divide then? Oh, right. And it doesn't work. So it's multiply. What did I hear? Multiply. What the heck? Oh no, that's different. That's something else. I can hide this just for, I can do that. No, this is also interesting. Curve to mesh, and then I get a profile. Profile, go over here. Make it very small, of course. But I give it a height. And then I set geometry, no, mesh, set shade smooth, turn that like that. And then I can make a wall like that, but then I have to adjust frequency, etc. Yeah, so this is the amplifier, this part. You can do more things, like you can add multiply. So let's group that. G amp, no, wait, amp. I can add utilities, math, and then multiply. So you can adjust the amplitude of that, level, volume. And you can say, if you want to make such, how do you call that? That is, I've forgotten the name, let's check. So, an envelope, yeah, an envelope, I think. So then you can say, oh, start with low volume and end up higher. So let's see if we can get that. So I get the index, then I multiply it. Oh, I use map range and mix RGB. Not, you cannot do that. You plug that into, yeah, you can plug that here into the amplifier like that. All right, yeah, so you can make many waveforms. Actually, I had a nice waveform. Let me see. And, oops, hold on. Yeah, I got a nice waveform. All right. So, thanks for watching, and then I'll see you next time.